Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome to my September front garden tour. So every month I like to go around and I like to video my garden, not only for you all to see, but also so that I have kind of a document of what my garden looks like. And this morning I actually went and I looked at my September garden tour from last year and the year before that. And it just is so exciting to see the progress. Really, the garden is just coming along. This whole property is coming along. And I am so thankful that you all have come along with me through this journey as we're kind of fixing up this property, planting it up, designing it, all that kind of stuff. It's been really, really fun. And I feel like we're getting into the fun time because we all know there's sleep, creep, leap. That's, kind of the old adage for plants. So we are officially in the leap season, which is very, very exciting. So let me get started with the most September installation that I have right now, and that is these 3 stock tanks that I planted up for fall, and I am absolutely obsessed with these. I think they are so beautiful. I love this color combination. I was talking to somebody and they were saying they were completely inspired by this color combination, which is so great. I just love them. So it has the Proven Winners Unplugged Red, which is a new plant this year. Unplugged White is new as well, which I have used and absolutely loved, but this Unplugged Red is just gorgeous. It's a really, really pretty color of red. It's not too intense, and it plays really well with other colors as well, especially in this Echinacea right here. So an Echinacea is a combination of a Rudbeckia and an Echinacea, and it is just so beautiful. This is called Maya Echinacea, and you can see that with the sun, the tips kind of get a little bronzy gold to it. They're just so pretty. And the reason why I chose this plant at the garden center is because this one had such a distinctive brown eye to it. And I just love that look. To me, that just looks so fall and so cheery and so happy. And I just think it's so pretty, especially with the Unplugged Red Salvia right next to it. Then I have some Blackheart Ipomea as a trailer. I have some ornamental pepper. I have some Superbena plum wine, and of course some orange marigolds to round out this beautiful fall container. I just love, love, love this combination, especially in the stock tanks. Then you can see kind of the ground behind it. Not very pretty. You can kind of see the drainage. It's not really gorgeous. A couple of you left comments saying that you thought that it would be a good idea to add wood chips around the stock tanks, just like I did around my Vigo beds in my back garden. And what a great idea. Just huge thank you for that, because I didn't even think about that. But yes, what a fabulous, fabulous idea. So I think that is definitely a winter project to add some wood chips, just to continue on the wood chips that I already have in the long border over there. I think it will be absolutely perfect. And I think it will kind of hide this drainage from the stock tanks that we have. And I think it'll just make it look just a little bit prettier. So anyway, I am just so happy with these stock tanks. I'm always, and I know a lot of us are always kind of iffy about planting fall containers because it's kind of the end of the season, but the amount of joy that these containers have brought me already in just the few weeks that they've been planted has made it completely worth it. So I'm super happy with these, and hopefully these inspire a lot of you. Then coming down this way, my long border is looking really good, especially on this end. It's just looking gorgeous. First of all, this tree right here, this is called a Traveler's Weeping Redbud. Mine's just a baby. It's going to get a lot bigger than this. I think it gets 12 feet tall. Don't quote me on that. I'll put it on the screen. But it's just a really, really gorgeous redbud, and you can see the branches kind of curved downwards. Really pretty. I love red buds. They have so much interest all throughout the year. Just really, really gorgeous tree. Underneath that, I have Supertunia Vista Bubblegum for a pop of color. And then right behind that, I have Angelonia right here. And I am loving Angelonia this year. A lot of you had messaged me and said, I need to try Angelonia in my garden. And you were absolutely right. And it's kind of similar to Gomphrena in that it needs the heat to kind of get going. But as soon as it got heat, it started looking absolutely gorgeous. So I'm definitely going to be adding more Angelonia in my garden next year, and I will definitely be trying it. it. I have some of my summerific hibiscus looking gorgeous. And then over here, I have my favorite honey apricot rose. It's looking beautiful as well, especially right next to, I love the combination of apricot and purple. I just think that is such a pretty combination. And this is Supertunia Tiara Blue. I have Supertunia Tiara Pink over there that is just crazy and intense and grows so much. This one is a little bit more contained, but it is still just as beautiful. I have to point out my Japanese anemones right there, looking really, really pretty. That was for my blooming garden. Was it my September blooming garden, I want to say? I had 2 more of them and they died over here, but that one survived and it's looking really pretty and it's just starting to bloom. It's really, really gorgeous. I'm blanking on the exact name of that. I know that's a Proven Winners plant, but I'm going to put it on the screen. And then right here we have Lantana. This is Lantana Basket Tangiglow. Really gorgeous, bright color. And it's one of those lantana where the color is like that ombre effect. Really, really pretty. I am loving this, really loving this. Lantana is looking so good in my garden right now. I'll show you a couple other areas. As is the Buddleia. This is Pugster Amethyst. Gorgeous. It's just so pretty. I have Pugster Blue over in my center island. I'll show you that as well. Looking really beautiful. And then I do want to point out my Podocarpus. This is my Podocarpus graciliar. They are growing, you guys. It is so fun to see. We planted a whole bunch of trees last fall, just around the same time. So they've been here for about a year. And I am definitely, I mean, there's probably been 2 feet of growth already, like on this one. Like, so fun to see plants really starting to take shape and start growing. And like I was saying, we're in the leap year, sleep, creep, leap. I mean, I guess the trees are technically still creep, but my garden is starting to kind of, come into its own, and it's really, really exciting to see. I wanted to point out the Vermillionaire Kufia right here. This plant has been so beautiful, and this plant was actually from last year, and I just left it there over the winter, and it has grown, and it's looking gorgeous. And this is one of the plants that, let me show you, if I stand over on the porch over there, and I look this way, I always see movement happening over here. And so my eye's always drawn to this space. And that is because the hummingbirds always like to come and mess around and eat on this Kufia. It's definitely a hummingbird attractor plant. So if you're looking to have more hummingbirds in your garden, I would 100% plant this plant because they definitely love it. Another plant that has been an absolute rock star this year has been my summer break Alstroemeria. This has been a surprise for me, and how beautiful it's been. It has been in full bloom since I planted it. And these are babies. I just planted them like a month or 2 ago, but they have just bloomed nonstop, and they've been really beautiful blooms that I could see from far away, which I think is always great. Like the Stokesia over here, really, really pretty, and I like it, and it's been blooming, but not as much. This one kind of goes in and out of bloom, whereas this one has just been in nonstop bloom. So we'll see how it does next year, but so far I have to say it's been really, really great, and I would definitely recommend this plant. And then here is the rest of the long border, looking really good as well. You can see this is Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow, which has just been insane. If you're looking for color in your garden, that is definitely a great plant. But look at my crepe myrtle over here. Isn't this beautiful? This is called Pink Velour crepe myrtle. It is a smaller variety of crepe myrtle as compared to the Tuscarora that are those 2 over there, but it is still just as gorgeous. So beautiful. I just noticed I have a package. I have to grab that. They must have just dropped that off. And then we have the Virtuoso Violet Dahlias right here looking really good. Everything is just looking really, really beautiful. Of course, everything still needs tweaking, and I got to find the exact spot for everything, but I feel like I feel like all these plants, I'm finding out which plants are working in which spot, in each spot in my garden. And it's just been really, really fun because I feel like I'm making a lot of progress with the garden. Over here, this installation has just been insane this year. Now, I do want to preface this by saying this installation is not fair. This installation I put in here for the Proven Winners Gardener's Idea Book, and they came and they took photos of it, and hopefully I'll get an idea book next year. We'll see. Make sure you sign up for the Gardener's Idea Book so we can all see if I get in the book this year. But this installation, because I needed it to grow in time to be ready for the photo shoot, I had to overplant this area, and it's definitely overplanted. I can tell because this lantana is absolutely taking over, which is not a bad thing because it's beautiful. This is Luscious Lantana Royal Cosmo. Gorgeous, so beautiful. It is such a beautiful plant, so pretty, and it's so saturated. And you put that with the whirlwind blue scavola or the ladybird sunglow calilophus, and it is just looking I just love it. We have a totem pole grass behind there that, gosh, they say that this totem pole grass can get up to 6 feet tall. It is not growing 6 feet tall for me. You know, I mean, maybe I'm going to leave it there for next year and see if it gets any taller, but it's shorter than me right now. And this is even a little raised up. So what would I say? I would say this is probably 4 feet tall right now. And so it still has some growth. So we'll see next year if the totem pole grasses get any bigger. You know, I mean, do I even need to talk about this plant anymore? It is just, it's just the most beautiful thing. Now, the funny thing is, so this is El Nino Catalpa. I just planted this one earlier this year. That giant one over there, that was planted last year, and that one's already pretty much full height. This one is not quite full height yet, but it's really, really gorgeous. It's so pretty. But my mom was telling me that she planted 2 of them in her garden, and she said that hers are not growing as fast as mine. They're not as big as mine, and she planted them at the same time. So I'm not really quite sure. They obviously really love my garden, and they're really happy in my garden. And I think that's kind of an important point to understand, is that there's a right plant for the right place, and you have to find what plant is going to work really, really well in your particular garden, because even my neighbor who is right next door could have a different kind of environment than I do. So you have to find what works for you, and some of it's research, and a lot of it is just kind of trial and error and seeing what works for you. But for me, this El Nino Catalpa, it's just one of the best things. Then coming this way into my center island, the center island pathway, you can see my bluebird house that I just hung the other day. We have the Supertunia Bordeaux. I love Supertunia Bordeaux. I am so excited that they came out with an improved version. Next year, one of their new releases, Proven Winners' new releases, is an improved version of Supertunia Bordeaux, which is one of the things I love about Proven Winners, is they don't rest on their laurels. They keep pushing themselves and keep trying to make bigger and better plants and better performing plants. And they came out with an improved Supertunia Bordeaux, which is, it's just so exciting. Do you even need to improve on this plant? No, but I'm really excited to see what the improved version is going to be like. Then we have the Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow. Again, if you want color, go with this plant. It is a fabulous, fabulous plant. Augusta Lavender Heliotrope. This heliotrope doesn't smell like my Fragrant Delight heliotrope, which is, such a great plant, but it is really beautiful. I mean, look at this gorgeous lavender color. Beautiful. The one thing I will say is I have tried this in containers before, and I think I like it better in the landscape. I think it does a lot better in the landscape for me than it does in containers, but it's so beautiful, and there's bees all over it, so it's a really good pollinator plant. Coming this way, here's some more. Here's some more of the Augusta Lavender. Coming this way, I wanted to show off my is it lion's tail or lion's mane? I don't know, but this is Oh, this is such a beautiful, beautiful plant. It's another plant that I planted for my blooming garden. I actually planted it for my October blooming garden. And here we are in September and it is blooming its little head off and it's looking gorgeous. And I love the orange color of this. It's just looking so very beautiful. It is such a fun, fun plant. Right behind here, I have purple pillar rose of Sharon, and this guy is going to get up to 12 feet tall, which is absolutely crazy, but it's really, really pretty, and I think it'll give some really nice height here where I have my meadow. My meadow, I have to say, is looking really good. I am loving, loving it. Still has some growing to do, but we are definitely getting somewhere with the meadow. Over here, I did propagation of my Martha Washington geraniums. I actually got these from my friend and they are looking so good and they are starting to grow and they're just looking just really, really beautiful. So I'm glad that I have these in my garden as well. And then I have a weed and another weed. So ignore that. Back over here in front of the lion's tail, I wanted to point out the mangave that I have right next to the dry creek bed. I just love it because it's just a little bit of structure right, next to everything that's really soft over here, kind of like by the meadow. Look at Monty over there. Isn't that cute? I found a picture on Pinterest where it had grass like this, kind of like I have, and then it had all these bunny statues kind of poking its head out of the grass. And I am definitely going to be looking for some bunny statues to poke their head out of this grass. Monty just reminded me of it when he was standing right there. But the grass is really, really soft. And then I thought that having this mangave, this really harsh mangave, right next to it is so pretty. So we have Catch a Wave. This one's Catch a Wave back here. This one I think is Lavender Lady. I don't remember what that one is. I think that one's Night Owl. I think that one's Tooth Fairy, and this one is Bad Hair Day. Really, really pretty. They're still growing, but they'll be gorgeous. And then I have another collection of mangave right there on the other side. And I just think it looks really, really pretty. And then coming over here, this is a whole area, the right side of my dry creek bed, I think it's been so pretty this year. This one is a vitex or a chase tree. This is, I can't remember the name of it right now, but I will put it on the screen and it has been beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Look at the teddy bear carpenter bee on it. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. So this is a carpenter bee. Now remember, carpenter bees in California are not bad. I don't want to say bad. They're not a nuisance like they are other places. They're actually really, really great. They're valley carpenter bees, and this one is a gold one, and I always feel so lucky when I see a gold one, especially with another bee right there. Anyways, this tree, this vitex, has been almost in bloom almost all season long. The height of it says anywhere from 4 to 9 feet, I want to say. And so right now it's hovering around 3 feet. So I'm sure it still has some growing to do, but I'm just really interested to see exactly how tall it's going to get, because that is such a wide range, like, is it going to be 4 feet or is it going to be closer to 10 feet? I don't know, but it's really pretty and I'm really, really enjoying it, especially right next to these sun-credible sunflowers that are just so, so pretty. And then of course I have the El Nino Catalpa. This is my big El Nino Catalpa. I did prune this pretty hard last winter and it was perfectly happy with it. I've told you guys this before, but since I have 3 of the El Nino Catalpas, I'm going to prune one of them and leave 2 other ones, and we'll just see how they do with the hard pruning versus the not hard pruning, and we'll see like how they bloom and all that kind of stuff. And then here in this area, I have my little gem magnolia that is blooming. Oh, it's just so pretty. What a beautiful tree. What a gorgeous, gorgeous tree. And then the underside of all of these leaves has that velvety brown underside that will be perfect for holiday decorating, but it's just so fun to see when the blooms come up. I just think they're gorgeous. And then I told you guys I wanted to show you the Pugster Blue Buddleia, looking really, really good this time of year. And there are so many, I just scared them all away, but there are so many pollinators on here all the time. I see butterflies absolutely nonstop, which of course I'm sure lavender is why it got the nickname butterfly bush, but the Pugster blue is gorgeous. I think I like the Pugster amethyst better because it's a little brighter and you can see it a little bit more intensely, but the Pugster blue, I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful plant. Another gorgeous, like, oh my goodness, gorgeous plant that I cannot get over how great this plant has been for me this year. This is the variegated orange Bambino Bougainvillea. That's a mouthful. Variegated orange Bambino Bougainvillea from Proven Winners. Really, really, really beautiful. I was telling you guys about this the other day. I have always planted Bougainvillea, but I've always planted just the regular kind. And Proven Winners, they do such a great job with their breeding and figuring out how to make a good plant better. And they have definitely done that with this Bougainvillea. They have definitely made a great plant that much better because this guy is pretty much the full size it's going to be right now. I don't have to do anything to it. I don't have to trim it. I don't have to cut it thinking it's going to get too big, which means I get more blooms. It's going to be happier. I'm going to get this beautiful color, more of the season, rather the Barbara Karst Bougainvillea that I had growing on my house at my last house. I would constantly have to be cutting on it and cutting off its blooms because I was trying to size control it. So this one you don't have to size control because it really only gets 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, and that's pretty much it. So if you live in a hot area, try this Bambino Bougainvillea. It is really, really beautiful. And I have another one. I think I have a red one, or they say red, but it's like a magenta color. I have one in my plant stash that I'm going to be planting pretty soon because I just think it's beautiful. As is all of this. Look at how gorgeous this looks. I want to keep this here, but of course these are annuals, so they're not going to stay. But I just think it is so pretty. Just the sea of lavender and purple and violet. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Okay, and then coming over to the Zigzag planter. The Zigzag planter is looking really good. I was actually looking at last September's garden tour. So my garden tour from exactly a year ago. And in that garden tour last year, I had purple fountain grass where my totem pole grasses is right now. And it was really, really beautiful, but it was almost too much. Like the whole Zigzag planter was taken over by the purple fountain grass. And I think I like this a little bit better. I love having grasses here to give it a little bit of height, but I think I like having the totem pole grasses here. Even something like a Carl Forster grass would be really good because those are a lot more narrow than the purple fountain grass. So you can see more of the flowers. Now, what is taking over, and should not be this big, but it is the sweet potato vine. Yes, it kind of has gone crazy with the heat, but I told myself this year that I didn't want to prune and overly work with the Zigzag planter. I wanted to see what would happen if I just didn't mess with it. And so I didn't cut back the sweet potato vine. I decided not to do that. The only pruning that I've done on the Zigzag planter has been cutting back some of the tiara pink to make sure that the heliotrope could still bloom, and the heliotrope has been looking gorgeous this year. So I think the Zigzag planter is an absolute success this year. I think it's gorgeous. This is Supertunia Tiara Pink. I did have some Stratosphere Pink Gara here, but the Tiara Pink completely swallowed that and took that over. I don't care. I don't think I will be doing sweet potato vine next year because it's just a little too much. Or if I do it, I will make sure that I will come and I will prune on the sweet potato vine, or I don't know, I just need to get a smaller sweet potato vine, just because I would like to see, of course, more of the pink. The hanging baskets they're just gorgeous. They're just beautiful. You can see the Stratosphere White Gara, which has just been beautiful. And then this is the Vista View combination, which is a combination of the Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, Supertunia Vista Snowdrift, and Supertunia Vista Bubblegum. What a great combination, you guys. Like, what a beautiful combination. And I was thinking about putting that combination in the Zigzag planter for next year, but I decided I wanted to try, it's too close to what I have this year. But I just have to say, if you're looking for a really great combination, Vista View is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I want to show you guys the Star Jasmine that is growing and looking gorgeous. I planted a plant right here. Oh, it's just looking beautiful, beautiful. And I just planted this and it's already really like taking it over. And I just love that. And I can't wait to see it kind of grow off this way. I will show you guys over here. I realized I left my hose out, so ignore that. I refilled my bird fountain over here. I just installed this just the other day. I'm trying to attract more birds to my garden. So here's my water feature. And then I have bird feeders all around, which is really exciting and fun. And I left my hose out, so ignore that. But over here, this is more of the star jasmine I have. And this star jasmine, oh, this is 100% in the leap year and it is growing like crazy and is beautiful. And I want to train the extra up here. I want to train it up and over my pergola. I think that will be really, really beautiful. Underneath that, I have Platinum Beauty Lamandra. And then I have Mahogany Ajuga. Oh my gosh, I just blanked on that name. Mahogany Ajuga underneath there. And the combination is just gorgeous. I just love it. It is beautiful. I'm super happy with it. And then over here by my front porch, I wanted to show this to you guys because this is probably the last time you're going to see it looking like this. I am going to transplant these coral bark maples. I'm going to transplant them over to the secret garden, which is where they're supposed to go anyway. And I have to say, I have loved how my front porch has looked this year. I think it's been so cute with my wine barrel orbs that I have right here, my pussy willow wreath, my boots. I just think everything is really, really pretty and I like this look, but I'm gonna have to change it because I definitely want to transplant these trees. And then I do think I want to move these terracotta pots. I want to move them over to either side of the gazebo, and then I want to put aqua pots up here from Proven Winners because the drainage from these pots is a big problem. You all know I've talked about that a lot, and it kind of stains the area back here. So having the aqua pots will solve that issue. I just love the look of these pots though, which is a bummer. So this whole area is going to kind of change, but this is the last look, and I just think it's going to be beautiful. This is Browalia, endless, not endless illumination. Endless something, Browalia, and maybe it is endless illumination. It's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous shade plant, and for us where we are, this plant can tolerate like no sun. So just be aware of that. It is really, really happy in this area that gets maybe 30 minutes of sun in the morning, and that's pretty much it. But it's a great shade plant. Okay, so let me finish up taking you guys into the orchard garden. The orchard garden is looking good. I haven't been super focused on the orchard garden because I've been focused on other areas. I do think I'm going to add some lighting along the pathway here in the orchard garden. I was looking at the solar pathway lights from HoseLink, and I put an order in for those. So I'll show you, I'll do a video of that. Look at how beautiful this is looking. Isn't that gorgeous? So I haven't done much changes. You can see my lavender river. My lavender river has been really funny because the lavender is looking different. Isn't this funny? So this is, these are both Sweet Romance lavender, but you can see this one versus this one. Doesn't it not look like the same lavender? Look at that. It's supposed to be the same lavender. I don't know. They're both Sweet Romance lavender. I'm not sure what's going on. But it's kind of over here as well. I don't know if some of it is just growing kind of differently. But the one thing that I think is beautiful around it is this white vinca. The white vinca has just been a complete showstopper. Really, really beautiful in this area. I'm not sure what's going on with the lavender though. Coming this way, the yarrow is looking really good. This is Firefly Fuchsia Yarrow. My Thunbergia is looking absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. And then this area coming over here, this is Verbena de la Mina that has been in bloom literally since January, absolutely nonstop. This is a great, great option. If you guys are looking for an easy, no fuss plant, I have not touched this plant one time since I planted it, and it is just a really, really great plant. Another one, I know I always talk about this one. It's just, you know, we all have our favorites, and Chiclet Orange Tacoma is definitely 100% one of my favorite plants. It is so beautiful. And the bees love it. You can see another carpenter bee on that over there. It is just so, so very happy. Such a happy, happy plant. There's my princess plant over there. I just planted that for one of my blooming gardens. Let's see. My Beyond Pinked Caryopteris is starting to bloom, which is looking gorgeous. This is definitely a good option for a fall blooming plant. And this is the pink variety. It also has blue varieties as well. That's looking really pretty. And then my Calandrina spectabilis, it kind of faded during the summer. It wasn't blooming as much during the summer, but it's getting its second round of really gorgeous blooms. This plant is too much for this area. I have to transplant it. I've cut it way back, but I just love the blooms on this plant. I just think that they're so romantic and so, so pretty. My fig tree is completely weighed down with figs. We got so many figs this year, you guys. I just look at them all. They're all down there. We got more figs than I knew what to do with. Like so many figs. I was like, do you need figs? Do you need figs? To all my friends and everything. Really, really wonderful. I think they did so well because I got this fig tree pruned last fall. So it's all new growth and it's all growing and it's a happy, happy fig tree. So many figs. What is not happy is my lime tree. This is going. I think I'm gonna have to, I was thinking about trying to get it out myself, but I think it's just too big. We are gonna have the arborist come and take out this lime tree, and I am going to replace it with a new lime, which is gonna be exciting. Look at the hummingbird. So pretty. So anyway, the garden in September is looking really beautiful. Of course, still some things struggling, but for the most part, it's looking really good. And this time of year, it's always so fun because, there's always changes in your garden when you make the change. You planted something there, you deadheaded this, you did this. But at this time of year, the garden almost takes on a mind of its own, and it kind of starts growing and involving itself, right? Does that make sense? And so this time of year, I just feel like the garden is its most alive. This time of year and in spring when everything is just kind of bursting into bloom. So it's really, really fun to see. And it feels like every day I come out, there's something different. Something's changing, something's looking a little bit different. So it's fun to pay attention to it. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.